The Eye of York, York Castle, Clifford's Tower. These are the common names this structure has been called throughout its existence, after being constructed under William the Conqueror in the 11th century. The structure found on this mound today is but a shell of what once existed in previous centuries. The original structure was made from timber, and there are layers, multiple layers and rooms inside the structure, providing a vantage point for York's military to keep watch over the town, which, at the time, was surrounded by an artificial moat, following River Foss and River Ouse. This shell provided protection for the city as a structure of security. What is not obvious to the untrained eye is that this shell, these walls, are all that remains of a previous infrastructure which had been decimated several times throughout its existence. This place of security has also been one of sheer terror. Upon entering this English heritage protected site, there are 3 distinct signs found around the base of the mound. One directly in front of the staircase, the next on the sidewalk to the left, and the last hiding at the back of the mound directly adjacent to the York Army Museum. A shiny blue plaque erected for a single individual, a stone erected for over 100. This shell is a surviving piece of history which was created to act as protection for the city, but also accounted for the death of over 100 innocent individuals. What you see here on this mound of grass are daffodils scattered around the base of Clifford's Tower. This reflects that at one time, one piece of false information led to the death of over 150 Jewish people living in the city of York. In 1190, 2 men, Benedict and Josias, attended the coronation of King Richard I, and upon their return, the people in York murdered Benedict due to the Third Crusade erupting a year prior. 150 people from the Jewish community of York sought asylum at Clifford's Tower while the city broke out into flames. From trust to mistrust, the asylum seekers in Clifford's Tower found themselves surrounded by people who were once their neighbors. This mob. Angry. On the 16th of March 1190, before the Great Sabbath, there was a realization they could not last against the mob. Setting fire to the wooden Clifford's Tower and all their possessions, fathers killed their wives and children while taking their own lives after. Those who were left were being offered safe passage, only to find themselves murdered by the hands of the rioters. All text, all records safely held in the York Minster were destroyed, erasing history. A generation later, a new Clifford's Tower was erected, and a new Jewish community also arose, only to be expelled 100 years after the massacre. It was not until the 1970s where the protector of Clifford's Tower, English heritage, acknowledged the atrocity occurring 800 years prior. In 1978, a plaque was placed at the base of the staircase informing visitors of the massacre. English and Hebrew are found on the plaque. These daffodils, with their 6 petals, 6-pointed star, have been planted since 1990 on the Tower Mound, around the time of the anniversary of the massacre. Walls contribute to the idealistic private and public spaces subjugated to one's inner thoughts. These walls become like containers, separating people, places, ideas, beliefs, and morals, all from one another. These containers create a space where the associated other is bound, a container for similar beliefs, ideas, notions, a container protecting individuals from outside territories, a container trapping individuals, potential protection and potential terror. Walls are for protection, walls are for harm, walls are for the people, walls are to keep people out. Today, Clifford's Tower is seen as a site of remembrance and commodity. But that doesn't mean that things that happened in the past can't happen again in the future. Although history does not repeat itself, elements of history are repeated. This can be seen throughout time. It can happen without any cause, justification. Atrocities can occur, genocide, massacre, and it can all start with one little rumor.
And I said, we need to build a wall.